Research Teaching and Learning 2 Research Presentation. Our overarching topic was strategies for behaviour management in the classroom, and this presentation is by Shivya, Aliane, Angela, and Josh.
The overarching topic for our group research was strategies for behaviour management in the classroom. We as group members researched different strategies for managing behavioural issues of the students in the classroom. These strategies studied were positive student-teacher relationship, setting classroom routines and well-planned lessons, setting positive classroom rules in collaboration with students, and reinforcing positive behaviour.
Based on the literature presented by each group member, it has been identified that all teachers are required to manage the class and effectively correct the learner's behaviour in a passionate way to encourage, motivate and retain positive behaviour. As current research has shown, it is imperative for teachers to improve the quality of their practices to enhance student outcomes, behaviour and academic achievement, even after accounting for prior student learning skills, family background and culture, and socioeconomic status.
The strategies that have been researched in the group through various literature reviews have been synthesized into two main themes: teacher skills and actions and classroom environment. It is clear that each strategy is effective in managing student behavior. However, it is evident that each strategy plays an integral part in promoting positive behavior in the classroom, and it isn't just one strategy that works, but a combination of all four strategies that we have examined. Each of these strategies are influenced by the teacher's skill and action, which then affects the classroom environment.
As COAF 2016 states, a teacher must demonstrate expectations for students by being prepared, by planning structured lessons, thus would encourage students to behave in an expected manner. This corresponds to B.F. Skinner's law of effect, stating that behaviour which is reinforced tends to be repeated. It is imperative that the teacher encourages the expected behaviour through consistent positive reinforcement and will also build on a positive relationship between teacher and students, as there is a mutual respect and a clear understanding of expectations.
According to John Bowlby's 1988 attachment theory, mutual respect can be developed by establishing a secure attachment between a teacher and student to regulate empathy, emotions, and appropriate behaviours in the classroom. However, loss, anxiety, and anger are also factors associated within the theory, evidently causing some students to feel neglected in the classroom if they do not believe they have a closer relationship with their teacher than their peers.
Therefore, it is essential for the teacher to provide specific verbal praise that is directly associated with a specific task or behaviour requirement, thus ensuring the student feels noticed, recognised and valued in the classroom, and ultimately allowing the student to feel comfortable building a rapport with their teacher.
To ensure the teacher is implementing the strategies and procedures identified within the literature to promote positive behavior in the classroom, a reflective teaching logbook will be proposed for the action research. The purpose of the proposed action offers the opportunity for teachers to make explicit and detailed recordings on their lesson.
Constructing both hot during the lesson and cold shortly after the lesson assessment field notes enables teachers to assess and evaluate if they are meeting the required standards, as well as the effectiveness of classroom management strategies discussed previously.
From our data collection findings, we have synthesized our data collection into two main themes that can manage student behaviour in the classroom: teacher skills and actions, and classroom environment.
Evidently, there are multiple strategies to manage student behaviour within the classroom. The data collection from one observational study of a classroom, with focus on routine, structure and well-planned lessons, reveals that daily routines such as lining up outside of the classroom quietly proves to settle the classroom quickly, and students understand expectations to be quiet and prepared before they are able to sit down and start the lesson, as opposed to the observational study from a class which did not perform these daily routines. Furthermore, when the lesson was well planned, structured, and provided students with clear instructions and rules, students were more attentive and engaged.
On the contrast, the data collected through the survey conducted on the significance of collaborating with students to establish classroom rules identified 10 out of 11 students who participated in the research follow and accept rules in classroom that have been developed in collaboration with them. This then sparks an inclination for students to abide by these rules consistently without feeling like they are being forced to behave appropriately.
Interviews were conducted on the teachers in a semi-structured and informal manner and discussed the positive and negative experiences which affect the relationships between the teacher and students. The data collected from the interview revealed strategies and processes involved in establishing positive teacher-student relationships. Of the findings, teachers who reported in demonstrating qualities such as empathy and humour or actions which show interest in student lives and respecting one another has proven to promote a positive and effective relationship with students.
Additionally, providing students with external stimuli, otherwise known as backup reinforcers such as favourite edibles, freedom of seating arrangement, and activities endorse a higher occurrence of positive behaviours being displayed, establishing a mutual respect with students' interests. The additional survey conducted measured teachers' beliefs and the implementation of positive reinforcement strategies in the classroom. Results have shown most of the teachers were confident in positive reinforcement, and the main form utilised was verbal praise. However, when questioned about alternative strategies such as token economies, teachers were less inclined to using it as they were unaware of the particular steps.
The strategies that have been mentioned are interrelated and connected to one another. To achieve positive classroom environment, routines and rules must be established with the inclusion of student suggestions, which will improve the relationship between teacher and students. This would then be further maintained by positive reinforcement. From the data collected, it was clear that students would respond positively to the mentioned strategies and would demonstrate the desired behaviour.
As demonstrated in the PowerPoint, the overview of our behavioral approach program includes the following steps. Step 1. Identifying the problem, which is the standard behavioral management strategies utilized by teachers.
Step 2. Collecting data on the problem. The researchers will be collecting data via interviews, surveys, and observation. Step 3. Organising, analysing, and interpreting the data. The interview and observation will be analysed through coding, and the survey answers will be quantified via a Likert scale.
Step 4. Develop a plan to address the problem, the implementation of the reflective teaching logbook. Step 5. Implementing the plan, proposing ethical considerations and data collection procedures.
Step 6. Evaluate the results. Through coding and the Likert scale, researchers will analyse the data. Step 7 will include the researchers identifying any new problems through a SWOT analysis based on the results and findings.
The purpose of the reflective teaching logbook allows teachers to record thoughts, insights about their own learning experience. It encourages the teacher to review and consolidate professional development and learning, to evaluate performance and plan future learning based on past learning experiences. The reflective teaching logbook provides the teacher with a scaffolded template, allowing them to analyze and critique their own teaching performance in compliance with the particular standards and strategies employed to target behavior management.
The reflective teaching logbook must be completed daily by the teacher, providing responses to whether or not they have achieved the particular criteria illustrated in the far left side of the table, which includes set rules in collaboration with students and signed behavioural contracts. Rules must be printed and displayed on the walls of the classroom. Begin each class with reminder of rules and expectations. Begin all lessons with starter activities, outline positive reinforcement methods used within the lesson, and provide explicit explanations and examples on meeting the criteria on the far right side of the table.
In addition, the reflective logbook provides an opportunity to the teachers to incorporate supplementary notes at the bottom of the template, thus enabling teachers to provide individualized student objectives and strategies for further lesson implementation. Through the implementation of the logbook, it aims to achieve both professional development and teaching expertise and facilitate various modes of classroom management strategies to minimize student behavior and promote positive learning environments within the classroom.
The program has been designed to clarify and provide evidence for the following research questions. What is the impact between utilizing one or more of the behavioral management strategies in the classroom? How can a teacher implement all 4 strategies in a classroom? Is the behavioral approach program effective for a short and or long period of time? Why and why not? How can we ensure that all 4 strategies are implemented consistently in each lesson?
Before commencing to collect any type of data, it is imperative for the researchers to inform the teachers and the students on the research that will be conducted within the school term if all participants agree to make part in the program. Participants will be made aware of on the purpose of the project, how the findings will be utilized, and how they are able to process the findings. It is also important to let the participant know they are free from coercion, meaning participants are free to withdraw their participation at any time without negatively impacting on their involvement in future research programs. Additionally, all participants involved in the program can choose to remain anonymous.
At this point, all participants wishing to continue on to the next step will be provided with a consent form, which will provide written information on the purpose of the research and the nature of the participation that is requested of them. Once the teacher and parent guardians of the students have read and agreed to the procedures that will be conducted during the program, they will need to sign the form. The completed and signed consent form will then allow the program to commence.
Before the program takes place in the classroom, the class that will be participating in the research will complete a survey that is based on their thoughts towards skills and actions demonstrated by their teacher and the effectiveness of their current classroom environment. The survey will also include a 15 questions ranging from open and closed-ended questions, rating scale, Likert type scale, multiple choice questions, and rank order questions. The exact survey will also need to be completed at the end of the program in order to evaluate and compare the data from the start and end of the program, thus allowing the researchers to identify the strengths and weaknesses and effectiveness of the program.
During the program, the researchers will observe 2 classes. One class will include the students participating in the program, and one class that is the control group that follow the standard procedures set by their teacher. Whilst observing the class, one of the researchers will need to take field notes and or annotations of the lesson based on the following factors: lesson structure, classroom management strategies, type of teaching activities, teaching strategies, teachers and students' use of materials, teachers and students' use of language, and student interaction.
Additionally, the teacher will need to complete the reflective teaching logbook to ensure the primary procedure of the program is met. Lastly, semi-structured interviews have been designed post-program to gather qualitative data based on the impacts of the program. The interview is focused on a conversational form of two-way communication between the interviewer and teacher participating in the program, and a second interview between the interviewer and the teacher in the control group.
An interview has been specifically selected to receive explicit information and reasons on the positive and negative experiences associated with and without the use of the reflective teaching logbook, as well as the strengths and areas for improvement involved in the process of the program.
Surveys will provide quantitative data for analysing the pre- and post-test results. Statistical analysis of the data is required to be done through conducting paired t-tests on the pre- and post-survey responses. Qualitative data collected through observation and interviews will be hand-coded and put into major themes and categories for analysis to make it comparable. At the first stage of coding, different ideas and concepts are grouped under subheadings, and then the second stage is to combine those subheadings into major categories and ideas for predictable data comparison and analysis.
COAS 2016 discusses the effectiveness of routine documentation in the classroom and the benefits it has in monitoring and motivating students to perform academically and behave in a positive manner. This strategy of documenting behavior and strategies to motivate students' engagement in the classroom has proven by COAS to help the teacher in tracking behaviors and the strategies that have been implemented to engage students through an autonomous and supportive environment which aligns with self-determination theory.
A study conducted by Simmons in 2008 reveals that teachers incorporated a variety of different strategies to manage behavior within a classroom, and that it is the culmination and consistency of the implementation of these strategies which all play a part in promoting and managing positive behaviors. As Manshank 2011 suggests, teachers have built a repertoire of behavior management strategies, and it would be beneficial for it to be incorporated into a planned system of responding to behavioral challenges.
Through these findings, we have created a new behavioural approach, a reflective teaching logbook that will be implemented in a single classroom initially. The effectiveness of the program will be analysed through an interview, survey and observation. Subsequently, if the action research program yields positive results, it can be implemented into a whole school approach. In order to identify the new problems, areas for improvement and strengths of the behaviour approach program, a SWOT analysis will be completed based on the research findings.
SWOT analysis includes strengths, characteristics of the program that give it an advantage over others, weaknesses, characteristics of the program that place the program or project at a disadvantage relative to others, opportunities, elements in the environment that the program could exploit to its advantage, threats, elements in its environment that could cause trouble for the program or project. The identification of SWOTs is important because it informs us of later steps in planning to achieve the objective.
Thank you for watching.